Good afternoon. So before we start, let me do some preliminaries about how this is going to go, and then at the end, I'll take questions, whatever you have. So I'm going to read a prepared statement, and then, like I said, we can get into some questions. But let me introduce the people here and the roles that they played. So to my far left is Assistant Chief Frank Falzone, who's over patrol. Next to him is Captain Jamie Quinn, who oversees the Criminal Investigation Division and was the direct supervisor on this investigation. Next to him is Detective Skylar Tuckler. She was the lead detective on this. And immediately to my left is Assistant Chief Bob Dyson, who oversees Criminal Investigation Division. So I'll read you what we have, and then, like I said, whatever questions you have, we'll take them after that. The Mooresville Police Department is investigating allegations of criminal behavior by an MPD officer. On Friday, July 28, 2023, information was provided to the Mooresville Police Department's command staff that an officer allegedly engaged in sexual misconduct with a minor. MPD immediately began investigating the allegations and suspended the officer pending the outcome of the investigation. Based on information obtained during this investigation, Mooresville's Police Department obtained search and arrest warrants on August 1st, 2023. With assistance from the Catawba County Sheriff's Office on Wednesday, August 2nd, 2023, Officer Matthew Beebe, 37 years old, of Sherrills Ford, was arrested and charged with 4 counts of third-degree sexual exploitation of a minor. Beebe was placed in the Iredell County Detention Center under a $60,000 secured bond. Additional charges are anticipated as the investigation continues. Due to the multi-jurisdictional nature of this investigation, the Iredell County District Attorney's Office has requested a special prosecutor for this case. Additional information may be released as it comes available. The allegations of this individual do not reflect the mission, vision, and values of the Mooresville Police Department or those of our community. We understand that this impacts public trust of our department. However, we moved quickly and decisively to take actions on these allegations. We're committed more than ever to serving and protecting our community. And the Mooresville Police Department certainly appreciates the assistance of the Catawba County Sheriff's Office. So before I take questions, again, let me just reiterate that this is an ongoing investigation, but I will certainly answer whatever I can. So if anybody has anything, go ahead.
Is there several victims or one victim?
So what I can tell you is this. The initial complaint we got of the alleged violations with a minor are not what he was arrested for today. We found that information as a result of search warrants applied for to his phone. We found pictures of minors that rise to the level of kiddie porn on his computer. So I think that's an important distinction. We are still continuing with that investigation. Right now, there is one victim with that. We don't know if there's going to be others, but as I said, I think it's an important distinction to make that what he's been charged with and arrested today was not what the initial complaint was. And that's why we felt it was important we move quickly on that to get him charged and to get this process going.
Suppose he aged a bit.
I'm not going to get into that, but I will tell you that it is a minor, and the initial information, it looks like this has gone on over the course of 3 or 4 years.
Male, female?
Female.
How long was he with the department?
So he's been here for 11 years. He's been a police officer. I can't get into personnel stuff, obviously, but there's always that question about, are you surprised that this come on? I mean, obviously, we don't ever expect anything like this, and there was nothing. I can tell you there's been nothing in his work history, certainly, that would suggest that.
Were these photos found on a work device?
They're on his personal phone.
You said additional charges are expected. Why is that?
Because of the initial report of the victim, and we're still working through with the DA's office, and there's a number of agencies involved. The Dove House did an interview with the alleged victim in this case, and and we're going through that process now.
Now, was the alleged victim or any of that, the correspondence in there, was that local or?
It's local.
is it here?
It's local.
Is it believed the victim is a family member or,
Sorry, I missed the first part.
is the victim believed to be a family member, friend, or someone the officer met through work?
It's not a family member. What I can tell you is it's not a stranger. The officer was familiar with the victim.
Well, I mean, walk us through the atmosphere, the mindset of the department right now. You guys just arrested somebody that y'all worked with for 11 years. What's that mindset?
Yeah, we've been tied up on this so much lately. That's taken a lot of our focus. What I can tell you is nobody's happy about this, obviously, and I think in the few officers I have talked to, we're gonna have a briefing with our officers in detail after this, but it was important to get it out to you first. They're obviously in shock and disbelief, and it as you can imagine, I mean, I'll throw it back at you. What would happen if you learned about it from a colleague you work with every day? There's a surprise there, but good or bad, all the years I've been doing this, these things happen. So I think it's important. So let me just give you this too. You haven't asked, but I think we're going to get to that point. So when something like this happens, I look at it, we have sort of dual responsibilities here. That's why I look at it. There's two things to look at. One is I have a responsibility to make sure that the investigation is done correctly, and are we the best people to do that? Should we outsource it? And two, what's the impact to the community? So, in the public trust aspect. So let me address those. So we do a number of these investigations. We have a pretty high-tech forensic lab that we've spent a lot of money developing. Our investigators that do this, the people that are in this room, are the best that I think. And like I said, I've been doing this for 38 years. I haven't found any people better that do this. If I thought for 1 minute that we should put this out to another agency, I would have done that. This isn't about chest pumping or that we should do this. If I didn't think they were the best, we wouldn't be doing this. In fact, a number of people come to us for these investigations to help them with it. That just shows you the level of expertise we have here. Secondly, I think the public needs to know and deserves to know, quite frankly, the people in Mooresville, that they have a police department that when something like this happens, we'll get on it quickly and we'll be decisive, and we'll be very quick and make sure we follow all the procedures. And like I said, we got this information on Friday. When the victim came to us, he was put on leave immediately within an hour after hearing that investigation. And then, of course, working with the DA's office, getting a special prosecutor, being in contact with them, going through the investigation. And this is all done by Wednesday morning. I think we couldn't ask to move any quicker. So to the public, I would say, listen, it's a black eye. We don't like this, but it's human nature. What are we going to do? All we can do is afterwards, and I think we've done everything that we could at that point and moved as quickly as we can in this. That's why, like I said, when we found these other allegations on his phone and realized what those were, we moved right away to make the arrest, because the other investigation is going to drag out. There's exams and other things that need to be done, and there may be other victims that come forward. So that's going to take time. So we moved quickly on what we had. We could substantiate very quickly. We did that. So, I'm pretty happy with the way that, not happy with why we're all here, but I'm happy with what we've done so far in this case.
Chief, is the officer in jail?
He was booked, he's at Iredell County. Now, whether he's made bond or not, I don't know, but that's where he was brought to, so.
Is it paid administratively?
No, so he was put, all right, so that's a good question. So he was put on paid administrative leave as of Friday. As of today, he's been sent notice that he's been terminated. So he's no longer working here.
What was his primary role with Mooresville PD, and then follow up to that, how will this involve cases where he's been an arresting officer?
So he was a patrol officer, spent all the years he'd been here in patrol. So that's something we'll get together with the DA's office on. Obviously they're gonna have to take a look at those cases individually and see, can they move forward with those cases without him, and were there other officers involved? That's gonna be up to them what they do. I can tell you that, listen, all crimes are serious, right? But I can tell you that he didn't work any like homicides or anything like that where his testimony is gonna get somebody it's somebody's gonna have to get out because of that. But that's gonna be up to the DA's office what they wanna do with that.
You said the victim came forward Friday,
Yes,
and you said this had been going on maybe a couple of years.
yes.
Can you say why the victim decided to come forward at this point?
There's a lot of reasons for those, and I can't get into that right now.
Can you clarify if the victim that came forward was the same victim in the photos?
They are not.
Are you looking into, or have you discovered anything yet that you guys are looking into that he was also sharing material as well as producing material?
One of the things we're looking into too. I can tell you, in that vein, I can share with you that as a result of the search warrant today, we also, this was just images on his personal phone. We already established that. But I can tell you the search warrant today allowed us to get his computers out of his home. We expect there to be more information on those computers. We haven't started that yet.
Officers have authority and people look to officers in times of need. For somebody who's watching this today, I mean, what other message do you have besides mistrust?
Well, I think I've already addressed that, and I would just sort of reiterate what I've already said is, you know, we don't, unfortunately, we take people from society. We do our best to take what we feel are gonna be the best people. Sometimes people disappoint you. And they certainly haven't, he certainly has in this case.
Do you expect there are any more victims?
We hope not, but we don't know. And I said, I think that, you know, there was a lot of information on his cell phone. We believe that his computers are gonna yield even more information. So it would be premature to suggest that there is. I think we can all figure that there probably is going to be.
What specifically was the initial report?
Of alleged sexual misconduct involving this minor.
You did say that.
And forgive me too if you already answered this, but has he specifically, in his 11 years of working here, has he ever helped out and worked a case similar to what he is now being charged with?
Not that I know of. I don't believe so. So I don't. So I think I know where you're going. So let's get to that. So I don't believe he has any independent law enforcement knowledge of how these investigations go. And judging, I can't tell you this, judging by how the things went and what we have, I don't think he had that knowledge.
And just to clarify, the victim in the photos and the victim who came forward on the 28th, two separate people, he knew them both from similar.
No. So let's be clear on that. He knew the victim of the alleged misconduct that came in on Friday. These other people, we don't even know if he knows them. These are just sort of what we know now to be random kiddie porn pictures that people that live in that world, I guess, for lack of a better term, know how to get these photos. So that's where they come from. So they're not the same or they're not connected.
You may have said this already, but was he arrested at his home or was he arrested somewhere else?
He was arrested at his home this morning. Our officers were there with the Catawba County Sheriff's Department that's in their jurisdiction. And he was arrested when he left his home without incident, brought back here, and then we conducted a search warrant. I can't tell you this because it's part of the investigation. Just so you have as much of the facts that I can give you now. We believe that some of these incidents may have taken place at his residence in Sherrills Ford. So Catawba County is involved in this also. That's the point with this multi-jurisdictional thing because we believe that there will be other charges coming out of Catawba County because of this.
Any resistance whenever you guys went to his house?
No, pretty compliant, surprised. I think would be the best term, right? I think he was surprised, which again, goes back to what you asked, right? I mean, if it had been me, and I'd probably be on a plane somewhere, but no, I don't think he expected anything, so.
Is it possible for us to get a photo?
We do, we have that, we're gonna get it to you. Yeah, we have it both taped and electronically, we'll get it to you, so. Anything else?
Does the officer, does he have a lakefront home or something? I mean, I'm just
I
curious.
wasn't out there, so we're, no,
It's a big area.
yeah, I didn't go out there, but I don't think from what I've seen, it was on the lake, I don't think, yeah, so.
Last question I can think of. Do you think that this right here will lead to the arrest of other individuals?
I don't, you know what, we're so premature into this. I don't know, that's always a possibility. I think it's the same question that I was asked about victims. There's always a possibility of that. I haven't seen anything yet in what we have that would suggest that, but I'm way past the point of being surprised by anything anymore. But I think there's a good possibility there may be more victims. Anything else? Okay.
If there's no further questions, we will be sending out that release with the statement that Chief Campertine read along with the arrest photo momentarily. And if you'd like printed copies, we have them over here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about earlier when I was talking. Press
Oh my gosh. Thank you for the apology.
Sure.